My God, can you imagine? Her statements still provoke controversy.
Some consider them a delusion, others a harbinger. Those who have tried her advice need no debate. They simply incorporate them into their daily practice. The great Vanga left not only predictions about humanity's fate, but also valuable health advice, simple in nature and powerful like nature itself. She often said, "All diseases enter the body through the feet, and they must exit through them." Remember these words. Today I will reveal to you her greatest secret, a secret that official medicine will never accept. How to use ordinary baking soda, costing just a few kopecks, to relieve swelling, painful fatigue in the legs, and literally cleanse the body of accumulated negative energy and ailments. Stay with us and watch the video until the end. I assure you the result will not just surprise you, it will amaze you. You will surely recognize yourself. Imagine the end of an exhausting day. You return home, dreaming of taking off the shoes that have become a true torture by evening. A heaviness rolls from the feet to the knees, like lead. It feels like my legs are about to burst from tension. Are you familiar with that state when night comes and the aching pain prevents you from sleeping, forcing you to toss and turn for hours? And the swelling, when the ankles are so bloated that your favorite shoes become unbearable. You don't even recognize your legs in the mirror. They seem foreign to you. This is not just a cosmetic flaw, but a troubling signal from your body indicating the need for serious help, pointing to the lymphatic system struggling under the load. Inside you, a lot of excess fluid and toxins have accumulated. What do you do in such a situation? Usually, diuretics are used, which remove not only excess water, but also vital potassium and magnesium, which can harm the heart. At that time, the heels become dry and rough, covered with a network of painful cracks. You spend large sums on expensive creams, pedicures, use pumice stones and graters, but after a few days the condition returns to what it was. The problem is that you are not fighting the root, but only the consequences. Doctors often shrug, and at best prescribe another expensive cream that only temporarily alleviates the symptoms. They explain the situation as age, excess weight, or a sedentary lifestyle, but do not reveal the main essence. All this feeling of heaviness, pain, swelling, and cracks is not just fatigue. It is evidence of deep internal contamination of the body, blockage of vessels, and circulation disorders, which prevent cells from receiving nourishment and oxygen. It was this root of the problem that Vanga saw and knew how to break the vicious cycle with a remedy found in every home. We simply forgot how to use it properly and stopped truly valuing it. Before we continue, friends, I would be very interested to know from which countries you are watching our materials. Write in the comments where you are from, and let's exchange useful information. Sending you strong hugs wherever you are, and sincerely wishing you all the best. I carefully read each of your messages and try to respond to them with specific advice based on your situation. Your feedback inspires me to create more valuable content that helps maintain health and improve quality of life. Centuries ago, people passed on simple yet effective knowledge to those who valued a vibrant life and robust health. Modern methods and empty promises from large pharmaceutical companies often fail to deliver the desired results. However, the situation can still be changed. Do you want to know a recipe that helps restore lightness to your legs, improve your overall well-being, and ensure a peaceful sleep? Then listen carefully. The essence of the method lies in its astonishing simplicity. All the necessary ingredients can be found in your kitchen. However, the exact proportions and sequence of actions are of immense importance, like in an ancient ritual. If you break the rules, the desired effect will not be achieved. So take a few minutes, grab a pencil and notebook, or remember everything at once. I will only tell this once. For the magical recipe left by Vanga, you will need just 3 ingredients that will form the basis of your restored health. The first ingredient is water, but this is not just tap water. It must be hot enough for your feet to withstand it. Not cold and not warm, but hot. Why is this important? Vanga explained that cold water seems to lock the body, holding diseases inside, while hot water, on the contrary, opens the pores on the legs. It warms the skin, expands the capillaries, and opens pathways for the removal of diseases and toxins from the body. Imagine your legs as the gates of a fortress and hot water as the key that opens these gates. Pour about 3 to 4 liters of hot water into a container. The second and main ingredient is regular baking soda that you keep in the kitchen, but you shouldn't immediately pour it in large quantities. Precision is important here, like in a pharmacy. For the prepared amount of water, you need exactly 3 heaping tablespoons of soda. Soda is an amazing substance. In hot solution, it acts as a powerful alkaline agent. This means that it instantly softens rough skin, reduces inflammation in muscles and joints, and destroys fungi and bacteria. However, the most important thing is that soda changes the electric potential of water, turning it into a magnet for toxins. All acids, poisons, and harmful substances accumulated in the blood and lymph begin to be attracted to the solution, like iron filings to a magnet. To prepare the mixture, you will need 3 liters of water, 3 tablespoons of regular salt, and 2 tablespoons of sea salt. Do not confuse the order and quantity of ingredients. This is the main secret passed on by Vanga. Let me explain how to correctly perform this procedure for the best results. To feel the astonishing effect, we begin the procedure. Every step and movement is important here. Pay attention, don't rush. This is your individual wellness ritual, which has no place for haste. First, pour the prepared hot water into the basin, then carefully add salt to it, not baking soda. Why salt specifically? Sea salt takes time to dissolve completely, and we need it to disappear entirely. Transfer all its strength to the water, down to the last grain. Gently stir the water with your hand or a wooden spoon until you feel the bottom has become smooth and the crystals have disappeared. You have created a powerful salt base capable of helping your tired feet get rid of excess moisture. Only after the salt completely dissolves can you add the key component. Pour in 3 tablespoons of baking soda and watch the reaction. The water begins to hiss, and you notice a slight chemical process. This is not ordinary school chemistry. At this moment, simple water becomes healing. The cleansing process begins, giving the solution alkaline strength. The solution is ready for action. Carefully and smoothly lower your feet into the basin with the solution. Feel the pleasant warmth starting from your feet, rising to your ankles and calves. Get comfortable, relax your back and shoulders, and start the countdown. The procedure should last exactly 15 minutes, no more and no less. According to Vanga, this time is enough to activate a deep cleansing of the body without harm to health. These 15 minutes are meant only for you. Close your eyes, take a slow deep breath through your nose, and then a calm exhale through your mouth. Let go of all thoughts of worries and anxieties. Focus on your sensations. Imagine all the harm accumulated in your body flowing out through millions of tiny pores in your feet. All the fatigue gathered over the day, joint pains and heaviness in your veins seem to dissolve in water. Imagine how dark, polluted streams of toxins leave your body and dissolve in the liquid. With each passing minute, your legs feel lighter. The water in the basin darkens, filled with negative energy and ailments. Don't be surprised if by the end of the procedure, the water changes color or becomes murky. This is a sure sign that the process is going correctly. 15 minutes have passed. Now comes an important moment that many overlook, thus nullifying the entire effect. Carefully remove your feet from the water. Under no circumstances, rinse them with clean water or dry them off. The main thing is to keep a thin layer of healing solution on the skin. It will continue to act throughout the night. Take an old, clean towel, don't spare it, and gently dab your feet to remove excess moisture, preventing it from dripping. Immediately after the procedure, put on simple cotton socks over slightly damp feet. Exclude all synthetic fabrics. Use only natural cotton. Such socks will create a compression effect, retain warmth, and allow healing substances to penetrate deeper into the skin. This session is coming to an end. The best time for it is before sleep. Now prepare to learn what awaits you next. Imagine a morning that will be completely different from the one you are used to. You will wake up and, perhaps for the first time in a long time, feel neither pain, nor heaviness, nor the unpleasant buzzing in your legs. As you lower your legs to the floor, you will feel a pleasant lightness, as if an invisible burden you have been carrying has suddenly vanished. Your sleep will be deep and peaceful, like it hasn't been in a long time, for neither cramps nor pulling sensations will disturb your rest anymore. But this is just the beginning. In a week, the most interesting part will begin. You will notice that the evening swellings gradually disappear. The mark from the rubber on the socks will no longer leave red spots, and the indentation will not cause discomfort. The shoes, which usually squeezed your feet by evening, will now fit loosely and comfortably at any time of day. Your body will finally rid itself of excess fluid that previously accumulated and burdened the heart and vessels. Then looking at your heels, you will be surprised. The once rough and dry skin will now be smooth and soft, as if renewed. The skin with painful cracks, which you have long tried to get rid of, will gradually begin to heal. Your heels will become soft, pink, and smooth like a baby's. You will no longer need expensive creams or exhausting peels, as baking soda combined with salt will handle this task well. Cleansing the body should start from within, eliminating the causes of troubles rather than just hiding their external manifestations. Take a simple foot bath 2 or 3 times a week, but not more often. There is no point in increasing the recommended frequency of procedures. Allow your body to adapt and carefully observe the changes occurring. Lightness and freshness in your legs is just the beginning. You will notice that the color of your face improves. The headaches you previously attributed to the weather or fluctuations in blood pressure will disappear, and your bowel function will become more stable and regular. Why does this happen? Because, according to Vanga's words, by cleansing your feet, you initiate a chain reaction of cleansing throughout the body. You assist the lymphatic system, which is the body's main drainage system, in eliminating accumulated toxins and waste. This reduces the load on the kidneys and liver, as well as improves blood circulation in the most remote areas of the body, in the capillaries of the limbs. Do not trust words without confirmation. Try it yourself. You will only need a packet of baking soda, a packet of salt, and about 15 minutes of free time. Compare this to the money you spend on medications at pharmacies, or the hours spent waiting for appointments with doctors who often cannot help. This prescription is a real treasure. Valuable folk knowledge passed down by individuals like Vanga is a remarkable gift for your health. By returning responsibility for our well-being to us, do you start to think about the power of simple folk remedies, or believe that treatment is only possible with expensive medications? Leave your opinion in the comments and share your experience. Have you tried using baking soda or salt to improve your health? Have you ever resorted to natural healing methods? Share your story, regardless of its content. Your experience could be a true find for many people reading these comments. If you think this video can help your loved ones, such as your mom, dad, grandmother, friend, or neighbor suffering from pain and discomfort in their legs, do not remain indifferent. Do a good deed and send them this video. A simple click of a mouse can drastically change someone's life for the better, freeing them from long suffering. You may have thought that frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom, restless sleep, and constant fatigue are natural signs of aging. But what if the real reason lies in those everyday habits you perform before sleep without thinking about the consequences? These ordinary actions can gradually but steadily undermine your prostate health, and you don't even realize it. For over 30 years, I have been studying men's health, especially after 60, and helping men regain a quality of life that seemed lost forever. I ask you to listen carefully to what I will share in the next few minutes. This knowledge can significantly change your perception of sleep, prostate health, and overall well-being. The habits you engage in right before sleep secretly provoke inflammatory processes in the prostate, create excess pressure on the bladder, and negatively affect your general condition. The quality of life noticeably declines, and the life energy gradually diminishes each day. The good news is that this can be managed. It all begins with recognizing the 7 most common mistakes that men over 60 usually make in the evening. Write in the comments which city and region you are from. I am really interested to understand how widely represented our male audience is. Today, I will analyze each of these mistakes in detail and offer clear, practical recommendations backed by scientific data. Some facts may surprise you, and the last mistake, which is the most serious and least known, may explain your sleepless nights and constant feeling of fatigue during the day. The first important mistake is that many men drink too much liquid before sleeping. This habit may seem insignificant, but it significantly increases the load on the prostate. You have probably heard that you need to drink enough water, and that is indeed true. Nevertheless, specialists rarely emphasize that the timing of fluid intake is as important as its volume. In the evening, our body naturally slows down fluid excretion, preparing for rest and recovery. If after dinner you continue to drink tea, warm water, juice, or even wash down medicine with a full glass, you make the bladder work when it should be resting. Enlargement of the prostate leads to fluid accumulation and creates additional pressure on the sensitive area, causing you to wake up at night 1, sometimes 2, or even 3 or 4 times to go to the bathroom. However, the main issue is not just the disruption of nightly sleep. Every interruption of deep sleep reduces the production of important hormones that help fight inflammation and promote tissue recovery, including prostate tissue. Frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom hinder the body from fully recovering. This vicious circle leads to you becoming increasingly tired, inflamed, and depressed with each new day. Many of my patients said, "Elena, I thought a cup of herbal tea before bed would help me sleep better." But they did not realize that such a drink acts like a natural alarm clock and causes nighttime awakenings. The solution is not in sharply reducing the volume of liquid, but in its proper distribution throughout the day. Try to drink enough water during the daytime, but significantly reduce intake after 4 o'clock. It is best to completely avoid any drinks 2 hours before sleep. If you need to take medication at night, try to do so with minimal liquid. Be sure to discuss with your doctor the possibility of adjusting the timing of the medication or reducing the amount of water to take it with. When the bladder is resting peacefully, the prostate also relaxes, inflammation levels decrease, and you gradually begin to feel an improvement in your condition. You are restoring that deep sleep phase, which is especially important for the full recovery of the body. Very often, people mistakenly spend too much time lying in front of the television. At first, it seems like rest, but in reality, this habit negatively affects the health of your prostate. There may arise an illusion of relaxation, but hours spent on the couch with a remote in hand and eyes fixed on the screen are one of the most harmful habits for circulation in the pelvic area. Many men do not notice this, but it remains a fact. Prolonged immobility, especially lying on one's back, significantly reduces blood flow to the lower abdomen, where the prostate is located, and impaired blood supply decreases the delivery of oxygen and essential nutrients. As a result, the process of reducing inflammation slows down, cell recovery is disrupted, and the prostate remains in a state of constant tension and irritation. Additionally, there is another serious negative aspect. The blue light emitted by television screens inhibits the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for deep and restorative sleep. When its levels are low, a person may fall asleep quickly, but full rest will be disrupted. The organism cannot reach deep stages of sleep, which are important for restoring the reproductive system. These conclusions are confirmed not only by scientific research, but also by 30 years of experience working with men. Most patients experiencing nighttime urination problems admitted that they fall asleep with the television on. They do not realize that this deprives their prostate of the opportunity to rest fully, reduce inflammation, and begin the recovery process. The good news is that this habit can be changed without much effort. It is enough to set a specific time to turn off all screens, preferably no later than 30 minutes before sleep. During this time, it is recommended to engage in activities that help the brain relax and prepare for rest. One can read a paper book, do light stretching exercises, or practice deep breathing with closed eyes. Such actions not only relieve mental tension, but also improve blood circulation in the lower abdomen, which contributes to truly effective prostate recovery. Another serious mistake is going to bed with constipation, not paying attention to it. Many men think that if there was no stool on this day, the intestines will manage on their own the next day. However, for those who have crossed the 60-year threshold, going to sleep with constipation can pose a much greater danger than it seems at first glance. Fecal matter in the intestines exerts constant pressure on the lower abdomen, where the bladder and prostate are located. This pressure persists even at rest and can negatively affect well-being. Painful sensations and false urges to urinate arise from the compression of the bladder, increasing discomfort. Ignoring this problem can worsen the overall condition. The prostate becomes especially sensitive at night, provoking a chain of unpleasant situations. Even with a small amount of urine, there is a feeling of bladder fullness, causing a person to wake up several times during the night. However, it is impossible to completely empty the bladder, and the constant discomfort in the lower abdomen only worsens the situation. Another factor that often goes unnoticed concerns supports. They significantly impair blood circulation in the pelvic area, reducing oxygen supply to the prostate and weakening its ability to recover. Inflammation increases, pain intensifies, and the vital organ loses its chance for treatment. To help the body, it is first necessary to adjust the diet. The share of green vegetables and fiber-rich fruits, such as kiwi and prunes, should be increased, as well as including whole grain products in the menu. During the day, it is beneficial to drink water, but one should avoid excessive drinking before sleep. It is also recommended to take walks of at least 15 minutes after dinner. A common mistake is that many men do not visit the bathroom before sleeping. This seemingly simple habit can lead to unpleasant feelings at night. Many think that if there is no urgent need, they can wait until morning. However, such delay often causes significant discomfort and negatively affects health. This affects the function of the prostate and the quality of nighttime rest. Even if it seems that the bladder is completely empty, a small amount of liquid still remains in the urinary tract. Lying in bed with this residual fluid, a person risks facing a deterioration in well-being and an increase in unpleasant sensations, which affects prostate function and overall health. Another common mistake is consuming salty foods before sleep. This unnoticed enemy can cause inflammation of the prostate gland at a time when the body needs to recover. A small snack, such as salted nuts, crackers, or sandwiches with cold cuts, may seem harmless. However, such foods contain a lot of sodium. Salt eaten before sleep becomes a serious trial for a man's urogenital system. Excess sodium leads to fluid retention in the body, increasing pressure on the bladder and prostate. This internal tension causes frequent urges to urinate, significantly worsening the quality of nighttime rest and well-being. This is especially relevant at night when the kidneys work more actively and the body needs full rest. The sixth mistake is related to the habit of sleeping on one's stomach. This position, familiar to many, can negatively affect the prostate with every attempt to fall asleep. The belief that body position during sleep does not impact health is a misconception. Men who prefer to sleep on their stomachs put additional pressure on the bladder, prostate, and pelvic vessels, negatively affecting the functioning of these organs. The seventh and most serious mistake is falling asleep in a state of tension. This hidden enemy has a detrimental effect on the prostate, sleep quality, and overall well-being. Among all the bad habits preceding sleep, this one seems the least noticeable and, at the same time, the most dangerous. Boris, a 64-year-old resident of Nizhny Novgorod, shared his story. Elena Komrova said that after changing his evening rituals, Boris's life dramatically improved. He stopped waking up several times during the night and for the first time in a long while felt a true sense of rest in the morning. If a person goes to sleep feeling anxious, agitated, or with unresolved issues, their body starts to release cortisol, known as the stress hormone. This hormone negatively affects the urinary system, causing spasms in smooth muscles, including those surrounding the prostate and bladder, exacerbating inflammatory processes, and hindering urine flow. The night period is especially important for restoring testosterone levels, but elevated cortisol hinders its production during this time. This important male hormone is responsible for prostate health, and when deficient, the organ becomes more susceptible to inflammation, enlargement, and other issues that are more common in men over 60. Moreover, stress activates the sympathetic nervous system, leading to constant tension in the pelvic floor muscles. These changes significantly worsen the quality of life, creating additional pressure on the prostate, complicating urination, and causing frequent nighttime urges. Many patients were surprised to learn that prostate problems could be related to their emotional state. Alexander from Yekaterinburg, who is 77 years old, had suffered from constant nighttime awakenings for over 5 years. Doctors suggested various medications, but they did not bring significant relief. The situation only improved after he started evening meditation and doing breathing exercises before sleep. The number of nighttime trips to the bathroom has decreased almost 5-fold, and now he wakes up only once a night. This problem can be solved with mindfulness and the right evening ritual. It is advisable to refrain from using electronic devices an hour before sleep, turn off the news, and create a calm and cozy atmosphere. It is recommended to practice deep breathing, focusing on diaphragm work. Slowly inhale for 4 seconds, then hold your breath for the same amount of time, and exhale for 8 seconds. Such exercises help lower cortisol levels and relax the muscles in the pelvic area. Some of my clients keep an evening gratitude journal where they write down 3 pleasant events that happened during the day. This method helps shift focus from negative thoughts to positive emotions and promotes the production of serotonin, the hormone of calmness and satisfaction. Now, let's consider a comprehensive approach to the evening routine that will help your prostate relax at night rather than experience unnecessary tension. The optimal evening routine for men over 60 should begin 3 hours before sleep. During the first hour, it is important to complete all active tasks. It is recommended to have dinner no later than 3 hours before sleep, preferring light dishes with minimal salt and spices. Good options include stewed vegetables, lean fish or chicken in small portions, and a bit of porridge. It is not advisable to consume tomatoes, citrus fruits, and spicy dishes, as they can irritate the bladder. After eating, it is recommended to take a 15-minute walk. This will help improve digestion, activate blood circulation in the pelvic area, and prevent constipation. A walk also helps reduce stress and prepares the body for rest. In the second hour of the afternoon, take time to prepare the body for sleep. Take a warm shower. The water should be comfortable, around 37 degrees Celsius. Too hot water can lead to tension and make it difficult to relax, so it's important to maintain an optimal temperature. Increased blood circulation in the prostate can cause discomfort. Warm water, on the other hand, helps to relax muscles and relieve tension. After a shower, it is recommended to perform some light exercises for the pelvic floor muscles. Gently squeeze and relax the perineal muscles for 5 seconds, repeating this 10 times. These exercises improve blood flow to the prostate and strengthen the muscles responsible for urinary control. Don't forget to drink the last glass of water, but do not exceed 150 milliliters. If you need to take evening medications, use a minimal amount of liquid to swallow them. Spend time relaxing and preparing for sleep an hour before bedtime. One should avoid any screen devices like televisions, phones, or tablets. The blue light from these gadgets suppresses melatonin production and makes it difficult to enter deep sleep. Instead, it's better to read a book in soft lighting or listen to calming music. 15 minutes before sleep, be sure to visit the restroom, even if you don't have a strong urge. Try to completely empty your bladder using the double voiding method. First urinate, then wait 30 seconds, and try again. In addition, prepare the bedroom for nighttime rest. Ventilate the room to reach a temperature of about 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Darken the windows to create the most comfortable conditions. Fresh and cool air promotes quick sleep and reduces night sweating, which can lead to dehydration and bladder irritation. Victor from Novosibirsk, who is now 71 years old, shared his inspiring story. Since he started following a specific evening routine, his life changed significantly. Previously, he had to wake up at least 6 times during the night, and during the day he often felt weakness and constant drowsiness. However, just a month after the new order was introduced, he started waking up only once at night, and his daily energy supply increased to a level he hadn't felt in the last 10 years. It is important to understand that the prostate is not an isolated organ. It is closely connected to other systems of the body, including the nervous, hormonal, and vascular systems. Therefore, prostate care should be comprehensive, especially in the evening hours when the body prepares for rest and recovery. Many men do not pay enough attention to the correct body position while sleeping. The optimal position for prostate health is sleeping on the side with slightly bent knees. For added comfort, a small pillow can be placed between the legs. This position helps reduce pressure on the pelvis and improves circulation. If a person is used to sleeping on their back, it is recommended to place a pillow under the knees to lessen the strain on the lower back and prostate. Sleeping on one's stomach is strongly discouraged, especially if there are issues with this organ. Nutrition also plays an important role in maintaining prostate health. In the evening, it is especially beneficial to consume foods rich in zinc and selenium. For example, pumpkin seeds and walnuts are great, but only in small amounts, and no later than 2 hours before sleep. These elements help reduce inflammatory processes and support normal prostate function. In the evening, it is advisable to limit the consumption of unhealthy food. Caffeine is found not only in coffee but also in tea, chocolate, and energy drinks. This stimulant affects the bladder and can increase nighttime urges even hours after consumption. If you want to drink something hot, it's better to choose herbal tea with chamomile or lemon balm, which have a relaxing effect. Consuming alcohol in the evening also negatively affects sleep quality and can worsen prostate health. Even a small dose of alcohol can disrupt normal sleep cycles, lead to dehydration, and irritate the bladder. Many men mistakenly believe that a glass of wine helps them relax, but in reality, it adds extra strain on the urinary system. Nikolai from Samara, who is already 68 years old, suffered for a long time from prostate problems and tried many medications. However, true relief only came after a radical change in his evening habits. He completely eliminated tea from his evening routine, stopped dining after 6 o'clock, and added evening meditation to his schedule. The results exceeded all expectations. Sleep quality significantly improved, energy levels during the day restored, and nighttime trips to the bathroom minimized. Special attention should be paid to the regularity of sleep. The body responds positively to a stable routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on weekends. This method helps normalize biological clocks and improves the quality of nighttime rest. Irregular sleep creates additional strain on the body and can worsen prostate-related issues. It is also important to pay attention to the temperature in the bedroom, the influence of which is often underestimated. Too high a temperature forces the body to work on cooling, which worsens the quality of deep sleep. The optimal temperature for comfortable rest is between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius. It is recommended to use a light blanket that can be quickly removed when feeling warm to maintain optimal sleeping conditions. Many men feel awkward when it comes to prostate-related issues, considering it a sign of weakness or inevitable aging changes. However, taking care of one's health is a manifestation of maturity and responsibility. The sooner you start getting rid of bad habits, the higher the chance of maintaining good health and quality of life for many years to come. Remember that change takes time. The body needs to adapt to a new lifestyle. It usually takes about 2 weeks to form new habits. To notice significant improvements, it is helpful to keep a journal that records the number of night awakenings, sleep quality, and overall condition. This method will help you better understand the recovery process and make the path to health more conscious and effective. To track progress and maintain motivation, it is important to constantly monitor your own condition. If you are taking medication for prostate issues, do not stop using it without consulting a doctor first. Lifestyle changes should complement medical treatment, not replace it. Nevertheless, many of my patients have been able to reduce their medication dosages or even stop taking them altogether over time, thanks to the development of healthy habits. I want to emphasize that your health is in your hands. 7 mistakes we talked about today are often made by men without understanding the possible consequences. Now you have the necessary knowledge to start improving your life and make it better. This is truly very important. I am impressed by how the perception of health changes after realizing the role of the lymphatic system. Having worked as a lymphology expert for over 20 years, I have repeatedly encountered situations where ignoring the condition of lymph leads to serious consequences. It all started with minor symptoms such as puffiness under the eyes in the morning, fatigue, and heaviness in the legs by evening, along with a constant feeling of being broken. Over time, these small signs evolved into chronic diseases and sometimes led to irreversible damage to the body. My experience working in state and prestigious private medical institutions has convinced me that the lymphatic system is an unnoticed ally of health, which can only be neglected by those willing to risk their well-being. Today, I will explain why the significance of lymph is much greater than it may seem at first glance, and I will share simple and effective ways to support it. First, let's understand what happens in the body when the flow of lymph slows down. Many of my patients ask the question, why am I constantly sick, gaining weight for no apparent reason, and always feeling tired? Most often, the reason lies in the dysfunction of the lymphatic system. The human body contains 5 times more lymph than blood, and the length of the lymphatic vessels significantly exceeds that of the blood vessels. They form a unique protective network that envelops all organs, providing them with essential nutrients while simultaneously removing waste products. This system is invisible, but plays a critically important role in maintaining the health of the body. Unlike blood, which circulates thanks to the heart's work, lymph has no pump of its own. Its movement is ensured by muscle contractions, the process of breathing, and even intestinal peristalsis. When these mechanisms slow down, lymph begins to move more slowly, leading to stagnation and disruption of metabolic processes. With reduced lymphatic flow, harmful substances, toxins, and pathogenic microorganisms start to accumulate in the body. A case is recalled of a patient who suffered from allergies for a long time. After every cold, her lymph nodes would swell and hurt. Only after a detailed examination was it found that her lymphatic system was overloaded and needed treatment. Chronic constipation and a sedentary lifestyle often lead to serious problems with the lymphatic system. Let's consider the case of a 45-year-old man suffering from stage 2 lymphedema. His legs were so swollen that at times they were hard to recognize, and the skin was covered with sores that took a long time to heal. This condition arose from prolonged inactivity and constant wearing of uncomfortable shoes. Dealing with the restoration of lymphatic drainage in such complex cases is very difficult, so preventive measures become especially important. How to determine lymph stagnation? The first alarming symptom is a slight swelling. If deep marks remain on the skin after removing socks, if rings start to squeeze the fingers tightly by evening, or if body weight changes by 2 to 3 kilograms within a day,